So the United States plays a key role in your book in solving this?
The key role, absolutely.
The key role.
I think so, because you have to remember that the United States provides Israel with about $10 million of aid every day. And that's very important. And also the international community is led by the United States in giving Israel support and defending Israel from attacks, both military attacks and also political attacks through the United Nations and otherwise. So Israel depends substantially on goodwill from the United States. And I think that almost overwhelmingly the Israeli people want peace. They don't want a continued violence and war the rest of their lives and their children's lives. And those opportunities for making real progress come just every now and then. And I think this year is a time when one of those opportunities has come. And that's why I produced this book this year, to let the American people know what's been happening the last 30 years, what's happening now, and what can be the formula to bring peace.
Are you optimistic?
I'm as optimistic as, more optimistic now than I've been in the last 16 years, yes. I believe that we can see real progress made. I don't have any doubt about that.
There was a forum today. The former President of the United States, George H.W. Bush, and the former President of the United States, Bill Clinton, was there. Interesting things occurred. Watch.
One time, we thought we'd outsmarted the crowd. We sent a decoy limousine off in one direction while I snuck out in the back entrance. As we rounded the corner, I'll never forget it, I saw one of the ugliest and angriest women I have ever seen in my entire life. Boy, she was really bad. And she charged my car with a sign. I don't see why the Secret Service let her up that click, right next to the window. "Stay out of my womb." No problem, lady. And
you know, he tells jokes that I just couldn't get away with telling. Can you imagine what they would do to me if I told that joke he told up here? Some people can do things, other people can't. It reminds me, you know, the story of the two dogs who watch kids breakdancing. And one dog said to the other, you know, if we did that, they'd worm us. I mean, some guys got it, some guys don't.
How do you explain that friendship, Mr. President?
Well, I think it's very good. And I think it's accurate to say that all five of us presidents have a very good, friendly relationship. I had the best relationship with the administration when George H.W. Bush was in office and Jim Baker was the Secretary of State. I worked very harmoniously with them. But I had the same relationship pretty much with Bill Clinton, because it was under Bill Clinton's watch that I went to North Korea with his approval and negotiated an agreement with Kim Il-sung, and also went down to Haiti with Colin Powell and Sam Nunn and prevented a war down there. So Bill Clinton gave me some major things to do as well.
You mentioned Bill Clinton. What is your relationship with him?
Very good. When we met outside the reviewing stand the other day for the inauguration, we exchanged kisses with each other's wives, and then we talked about the fact that Bill helped me become president in '76. I helped him become president later on, and the things that we've done together, and particularly talked about the future of Hillary Clinton as Secretary of State. And then we walked out together. George H.W. Bush then had a hip operation, go up on the elevator. So we met him later on. But we had a long, friendly conversation, which we'd always done.
George W. Bush left office with very low job approval. And those things changed. When you left office, you had a 34% approval rating. In the latest CNN opinion research poll, you have a popularity rating of 60%. Any advice you can give to George W. as a former president now?
Well, I think just be frank with the American people, get out whenever you can, use the tremendous influence that accrues to every former president, trying to benefit as many people as possible. I think he's done a superb job, by the way, in increasing U.S. aid to the poverty-stricken people in Africa. I think no one could have done any better than he has there, and I think he could take advantage of that. So I don't think there's any doubt that his public opinion polls will go up in the future.
Your daughter Amy was 9 when you became president. Any advice to the Obamas about parenting daughters in the White House fishbowl?
Well, we had long conversations with Barack Obama and with his wife week before last. Rosen spent an hour and a half luncheon with Michelle, and I was with Barack with the other presidents the same day. And they were very interested in seeing their daughters have as normal a life as possible in the White House. And Amy was exactly the same age as their oldest daughter. So I think we covered it fairly well. And I told them, you know, that you can have a delightful life, not only in the White House during the week, but also at Camp David on the weekends. But Amy would bring her classmates home with her. And the White House is a good place for a kid. They have a movie theater, and the First Family can get any movie they want, brand new ones or old ones. Amy sometimes would bring her classmates there and spend all night Friday night watching movies and eating popcorn and Cokes. And you know, President Ford put in a swimming pool, and Harry Truman put in a bowling alley. So there's a lot to be done around the White House, and I think their daughters will have a delightful time.
How old is Amy now?
Amy was born in 1967. I'll let you figure it out.
She's 42?
42 years old. I just figured it. And she's getting along fine.
I want to clear something up on the Middle East. You said earlier that Israel fired on schools and mosques. Israel says it fired back to where the missiles were fired from. What was Israel supposed to do at that point?
I can't deny that. I don't know. I wasn't over there. I just know what the United Nations report was. The big allegation was that the United Nations school with 30 children in it was struck and all the kids were killed. And the United Nations denies that there were any terrorists inside, or I don't know what the answer is. But once you decide to destroy a city, I understand they destroyed 22,000 buildings, then you can't really pick and choose which ones you're going to destroy.
You trust Hamas?
I trust Hamas to do what they know is best for them. When I have met with Hamas twice, their preeminent, almost their only demand was open the gates and let food come in to our people here. As you know, at least half those folks in Gaza, about 1.5 million, are not loyal to Hamas. They're loyal to Fatah. And a lot of the people in the West Bank are not all loyal to Fatah. They're loyal to Hamas. So the Palestinians are indistinguishable. And I would hope that everybody there wants peace. The Hamas people committed to me and announced publicly and confirmed that they will accept any peace agreement negotiated between the Palestinians and the Israelis, provided the terms are submitted to the Palestinians all over the West Bank and Gaza in a referendum. And if it's approved by the Palestinians, Hamas swears they will accept it. I think they will.
How's your health, Mr. President?
Oh, just fine, I think. Getting along fine. This 4-day book tour, I think I have 51 interviews in 4 days, and if I survive this 4 days, then I know I'm okay.